Does God hate vegetarians? I am Matt Draper, and I was homeschooled with a fairly intensive Christian home education, so I'm here to answer your Bible question. So there is one person in the Bible who goes onto an all vegetables and beans diet for a while, and that is Daniel, off of Daniel and the Lion's Den. And ironically, he almost becomes dinner himself. I guess this question about does God hate vegetarians comes because if you remember the original stories from the Bible, there's Adam and Eve, who are the first humans, their sons, Cain and Abel. But Cain ended up unaliving Abel. And the reason for this was that Abel was growing sheep like he was a farmer, whereas Cain was only growing fruits and vegetables. And then God was like, bring me something, bring me an offering. And so Abel brought some sheep and Cain brought like a basket of fruits and vegetables, and God was like, "I don't want those. I only want these animals." Um, don't get me started on God and his obsession with sheep and killing them, but we'll come back to that another time. But so basically, Cain was so jealous that God had accepted Abel's sacrifice but not his, that he went and unalived him. So yeah, you could say from that God is not a big vegetable fan. But Daniel from Daniel and the Lion's Den, he was an all vegetarian for a while. And also there was a time when the people who had escaped from Egypt, God's people, were wanting to go back to Egypt so they could have the cucumbers. So again, we do have some options for vegetables in the Bible, so I wouldn't worry too much about it. I don't think that God necessarily hates anyone, the God of the Bible, but definitely, definitely not vegetarians. Tell me what your favorite Sunday school stories were and drop some questions in the chat if you've got Bible questions. I am the dropper to answer them.